Okay. You guys ready to conquer some cravings? So this, I love doing this talk because this is really fun tapping. In the beginning when we started talking about it, I was like, you guys, this is so random. Like, I don't want to talk about cravings at this, but the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? What are cravings? And when I really started thinking about it and started thinking about the clients that I'd helped with their cravings, like Diet Coke addictions, cookie addictions, what I realized was that it's so much more than cravings, right? It's just another place that stress shows up, that we try to deal with it and don't really have any effective strategies. So then we try to willpower our way through it. And then eventually our willpower runs out and we go back to the same cycle. And then guess what? We hate ourselves even more, right? So cravings, really, it's about stress. And underneath that, it's about self-love. You know, it's another way that we like shame ourselves and hate ourselves when we don't feel like we have control over those kinds of things. And tapping is a really effective way to deal with cravings, whether it's for addictions, just, habits that maybe wouldn't fall into the addiction category. When you have that compulsion and that kind of inner frantic energy that really needs something like that, tapping is a beautiful way to calm your body and your mind down so you can get back and go, okay, now I can make a rational decision. Okay. So what we're really doing is illuminating the spiritual path through our relationship with what we feed our body and what we put into it, and get into the deeper story, just like we talked about before. Like, get into that deeper story with what is my relationship with this food. Get curious about it, right? Like there's always a story there with these cravings. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about this, I feel like it's so important, obviously weight loss, decreasing cortisol levels. Cortisol is one of those hormones, it's a stress hormone that is inflammatory. We need cortisol, but it's inflammatory, and it also tells our body to hold on to weight. Okay? When we're really stressed and we're pumping out those stress hormones and our cortisol is sky high, our body does not want to let go of weight. Okay? So one of the easiest ways to do that is to tap. Studies have shown that tapping reduces your cortisol levels in 1 hour, 24 to 48%. In 1 hour. Show you how. We're going to do it, sister. And I do. I love this tapping. And it improves your relationship with food because, in my opinion, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is get to a place where it doesn't have to be black or white. I will never have sugar again. I will never have alcohol again. I will never have whatever again. But can we just get a better relationship with it so that we can have a little bit, enjoy it, send it gratitude, and then move on, and not have to get in that compulsion cycle, right, where it's the black and white, push and pull, that we just recycle over and over again. And we can regain confidence with our health. It just feels like we kind of harness that control over the insides again. And we can have an effective and quick way to just shut down the cycle. The deeper reason that I wanted to go even deeper below that is that you guys are here, right, because you're interested in this energy stuff. And I had you all raise your hands earlier if you feel like you sense things, right? I mean, you just did a tarot class. Like, you pick up on things. You wouldn't be here if you weren't that type of person. So we get into the conversation about that empath tendency, right? Everybody on the planet has that ability to sense into those energies, but some people have a bigger dose of it. Some people have flexed that muscle and have really tuned into that. And what I find is that, and other people have found too, is that empaths are very, very prone towards addictions and compulsions like that for different reasons. A, because we pick up the energy around us and we don't really know what's going on, so food is soothing, right? Sometimes we pick up someone else's anxiety and we've learned that food is soothing, so we go for that route. There was another point and I lost it.
Here, come here. Your ruffle is touching your microphone. That sucker under your flap here.
My microphone game is off, isn't it?
Just that.
I'll try that.
Your ruffle's just rubbing on it, and it's gonna be
stupid ruffles. I know. Thank you for that. That's amazing. So if we use this process of investigating, we can really notice that our cravings show us where our stress is showing up.
Sorry. sorry, you're never repeat that.
I just said our cravings can show us where our stress is showing up. Okay. Just another opportunity to investigate. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say, is that we use food to ground ourselves. Do you hear that, psychic people? Because that's very important. I need to say that like 5 times. When we're all up in our upper chakras and we're connecting, we're not necessarily grounded at the same time. We have to work on it, okay? Grounding means put your feet on the earth so that energy is both going down and coming up from the earth, and you're also connecting and pulling it in. We need it going both ways. And when we get really up in our upper chakras and we're really in that intuitive space, a lot of times we lose our grounding. And if we don't know how to balance that, we will reach for food to ground, okay? Everybody that's learning to read needs to know that. If you feel wonky, because the reality is if we're not like grounded in our body, there's a lack of safety there. Something just doesn't feel right. Okay. So what is an empath, right? The super sensitives of the world. There's lots of different types of empaths. There's an amazing book. I love this book, The Empath Survival Guide. I recommend it to all my clients. And written by Judy Orliff, who is actually an MD, which I love. My background's in nursing, and as much as like I think there are brilliant people without any degrees, I still have that in me that like I love MDs that are into this stuff. You know, Erica's like, yep, me too.
What was the name of it?
The Empath Survival Guide. Yeah. Judy Orliff. Judith is what it says on the book. Yeah, Judith. Oh, completely. Absolutely. Absolutely. To have all the pieces of it, right? Because if you go to somebody and they're like all right brain and they're just like following a script and you're like, but I'm a person here, hello. Like there's some other stuff going on that you're missing. Yeah. So there are telepathic empaths, precognitive empaths, dream empaths, mediumship, plant empaths, people that can sense plants, earth empaths and animal empaths, physical, emotional, and intuitive, all the different types. I'm a very physical empath. I feel the shit out of the energy around me, for better, for worse. It is amazing when I'm sitting with clients because when they sit down, a lot of times my body starts to mirror them. And when they start tapping and I'm asking if them, like, do you feel release? And they're like, oh, I don't think there's anything left. And I'm like, check your throat chakra. It's still real tight. And they're like, oh God, you're right, it is. Because I feel it, okay? It's awesome for my job. It is a real pain in the ass when I'm on the subway. You know? But you learn to get better about it and turn it off and recognize when you don't want to feel so much. And to be totally honest with you, I had a very long, in-depth conversation with my soul team, my guides and the universe. And I was like, when 2020 was rolling out, I was like, hey guys, I love my gifts. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but could we just dial it down a little bit? Could we just dial down this feeling thing a little bit? Because I got enough of my own stuff going on. I can't feel the collective energy going through. When the George Floyd thing happened and all the riots started, I do not watch the news because it takes me out of orbit. I can't do it. I had probably the worst panic attack I've ever had the day he died. And I couldn't sit down. I was like, oh my God. And people were like, is it the virus? Is it, because we were having a few people over for the first time, you know, since lockdowns had started, because that was Memorial Day. We were having a small group come over. And I kept saying, I was like, nope, I am not scared of that virus right now. People scare me. And I just kept walking around. I was like, people scare me. People scare me. And I couldn't get rid of it. And it wasn't until a few days later that I realized I felt that giant wave coming. So I had to ask for a little help backing out of that because I was like, okay, I love this gift, but seriously, guys, let's dial this down a little bit, right? And I know that I have the power to do that, and that's just a reminder for me and for you guys. We do have the power to dial it up and dial it down, just like Brittany was telling us about. So we've talked about emotions and how they get wired in. We've talked about how empaths are prone to feeling all of that, right? And feeling that overwhelm in the nervous system from their own energy, but also from other people's energy. And man, I love being able to stand up here and talk to you guys about this because just like we talked about earlier, we know what it feels like to be having this stuff going on and to be so sensitive and people around you are like, what? Like, yeah, right? So I would bet that 100% of the people in this room have a wound behind that. I'm different. I'm too sensitive. People told us we were too sensitive. That is your fucking superpower. And we got it confused because people didn't understand it. And then we got confused about it. But that's why we're here. Because it is your superpower. And all of that rejection and all of that wounding can be dealt with tapping and whatever your healing modalities are.
It's like an empath has no filters.
Yes.
And then, the people who don't really feel as deeply, they have just this wall. And maybe, I'm just curious, maybe when, their children, the walls went up as a defense mechanism.
I think you're absolutely right.
Developed walls.
I think you're right. I think that I meet people sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, that man is soft and tender in there. You can just feel it, you guys know. But he's like, because when he was a little boy, boys aren't allowed to cry. You got to toughen up. You got to this, that, and the other. But yeah, I think it totally, that wall comes up, that heart wall, out of defense, out of protection. And all of us have walls too. We all have walls because it's tender and scary in there. When people make you feel like you're weird, what else are you going to do? Yep, talked about that. We are particularly prone to this. Everybody needs to know that. This is Judy Orliff's quote, "Overeating is common since some empaths unwittingly use food to ground themselves. Empaths can easily become overweight because the extra weight padding provides protection from negative energy." So that's why this conversation is so important for intuitives, right? Because if we don't know how to protect ourselves, and that's we could probably do a whole freaking day of psychic protection, a whole day of learning how to do that. And I'm still learning to get better about that. Because we do have power over it, we have control, but it has to be very conscious, and we have to deal with our wounds from the past. So there are cravings are a form of emotional consuming. So let's do an empath self-assessment from Judy's book. And I want you to, I'm just going to read the question and make it a little tally mark if this feels like it applies for you. So these questions are for, am I a physical or an emotional empath? So the first one, have I ever sat next to someone in pain and started to feel pain too? Put a little tally there if that's you. Do I get physically ill in crowds? Have I been called a hypochondriac, but no, my symptoms are real? Do I react to other people's stress by developing a physical symptom in my own body? Ding, ding, ding. I did that a lot. Do I get energized by some people and depleted by others? Uh-huh. Everybody's like, oh my God, yes. That's real, guys. Pay attention to it. That is the easiest way. You're like, oh, I felt great, and I walked in, and I'm around my sister, and I'm like, and she seems happy. What is happening? Do I frequently go to the doctor without getting treatments that help? Am I chronically fatigued, or do I have mysterious or unexplained ailments? Do I often feel exhausted by crowds, preferring to stay home? And is my body sensitive to sugar, alcohol, and processed foods? How many people raised a hand, checked all of them? No? Oh, that's surprising. How many got 5 or more? Yeah. So that's for those were for the physical empath. This is an emotional empath. Do I pick up other people's emotions, such as anxiety, anger, or frustration? Do I get emotional hangover after an argument or a conflict? Do I feel depressed or anxious in crowds? Do I want to fix people and take away their stress? Really important topic for empaths, because we start to recognize a lot of that people-pleasing isn't necessarily for them. I mean, it is for them, but it's we want to take their pain away so that we don't have to feel the pain. Yeah, ever thought about that? Right? Mm-hmm. Can I intuit other people's feelings even when they are unexpressed? Is it hard to distinguish other people's emotions from my own? Do I care so much about others that I neglect my own needs? There's that empath tendency. Do I overeat to cope with difficult people or emotional states?
Can we do like 3 tallies?
Right. Check, check, check. Do I experience mood swings from sugar, carbohydrates, or other specific foods? Oh man, I do that. Never thought of that. Yeah. Okay, so who got 5 or more on that one? Keep your hand raised. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Yep. Yeah, so, all right, well, let's learn how to deal with these cravings. What do I do with my doodad? We've already talked about this. We'll use tapping to get curious, find hidden emotions, explore past programming, recognize where we're self-medicating, rewire the nervous system, right? Get out of that frantic panic state that we get in when we want something so bad we feel like we're going to die if we don't have it, right? Bring healing, regain control, and manifest a new relationship with what we're putting in our body. So important to remember that, yes, we're at the Energy Enlightenment tour, but every morsel of food, every drink, everything is all energy. So you can call in healing energy, you can do all the things and do the Reiki and the sound and the tapping and la 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 la, but if you're feeding your body junk, you're still just putting toxic energy in. It's like hanging out with a negative Nancy, putting the junk in, right? I hope we don't have any Nancys in here. Okay, 2 different types of hunger. Physical hunger develops slowly over time. You desire a variety of food groups. You feel sensation of fullness and take it as the cue to stop eating. That's balanced hunger, right? You have no negative feelings about eating. It's like, I'm hungry, I'm just going to do this. Oh, now I'm full, I'm going to stop. Emotional hunger is very different. We've all been there. It comes about suddenly or abruptly. You only crave certain foods. It's like, I'm hungry, but I refuse to eat a salad. I need those chips, you know? That's emotional hunger. That's not like I'm eating to survive here, okay? You may binge on food and not feel sensation of fullness, that empty feeling. I work with people a lot on that just emptiness. That usually isn't about food at all. Where are you also empty in your life? Are you not fulfilled in work? What's you need?
I had a feeling that your battery was low, so
This is super important. You eat, and then you feel guilt or shame about the eating.
That's me.
That's everybody, isn't it? Like, we're like, damn it, why did I do that again? Yeah. Guilt and shame are two of the lowest vibration emotions that we carry. So we just kind of recycle. From a manifesting standpoint, it's like, can I just get my cravings under control so I can quit manifesting from a place of guilt and shame? We don't want to manifest from that place. We don't want more of that junk. Okay, so let's pull out whatever your craving is. Maybe it's not even a craving right now, but we're going to do this anyway. You can see why this is so much better right before lunch. Chocolate, salty, whichever it is, just pull it towards you. What's that?
What if it's both?
You know what? You can pull both of them towards you. Yeah.
Sniff them both.
Yeah. So I want you to bring them close, and I want you don't get to taste it yet, but I do want you to just smell it. Like, really smell it. Let yourself want it. I know we just had lunch recently, but it's kind of that mid-afternoon a lot of times. Okay. So I want you to just notice, how does your body start to register and connect with that?
My mouth is like,
Watering.
I want it.
Yeah.
And I don't want it.
Right, but you smelled it, and so it's like that automatic response, right? That's the autonomic nervous system. I can't tell you to think your way out of that. You know, you could change your thoughts to something else, but that's an automatic response. So what else does your physical body do? Anybody else have like a really strong craving right now? No, that's too bad. That's too bad. So people will notice things like they get kind of like, ooh, like amped. Like they're like, ooh, I can't wait to have it. I gotta have it. You know, like when you're really in it, you know, you're like, it's right there. Yeah, mouth watering. Yeah, all kinds of things. So I'm gonna show you how to tap on a craving. This is something that you guys, it's absolutely doable on your own. Anytime you have a craving on your own, like I said before, when you're triggered in it, that's the best time to do it. Right now we're trying to conjure it up, so it's not gonna be as powerful. But when you have a craving in the future and you're trying to give up your whatever, pull it out in front of you just exactly the way we're doing right now and try this out, and you'll be blown away, okay? So let it be in front of you and just rate your craving 0 to 10. Like, how much are you like, I just want that so bad? I just really feel that vibe from this group that it's fairly low right now, but you guys want to just shout out some numbers just so I know where we're starting?
6, 5.
3, 6, 5. Yes! I'm so glad we've got a 10. Okay. Right.
That doesn't matter. The chocolate doesn't matter.
Right.
We did this once. I was so addicted to the cookies right across the street here at Mimi's. I mean, I had to have like 10 a day.
She kept them in her
I
car.
was an emotional eater. That's why I gained so much weight, is because my kids were bad today. But she had to go and buy a cookie and tap on it. I was so repulsed after we were done one session that I've never eaten one again.
Really?
I was so
Yeah.
repulsed.
Yeah.
So if you do it right, you do it with a practitioner.
Yeah, it's powerful.
This shows you results, but nothing. I don't think like a one-on-one.
Right.
Yeah, when you really work it out, you're so sick of it that you're just done.
And a lot of it
Yeah.
was Andrew, my ex-husband.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean.
What'd you say?
I don't know. Can you tap an ex-husband out? I mean.
That would be a few sessions.
When we were
Tap it out.
tapping on the cookie, I kept seeing my ex, and so it was like.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
That's what happened to me earlier. That's why I was
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that, though, because that's exactly what this shows us, is that when we start craving things, weird things will start popping into our head, because it's those neural pathways that are connected. And there was a place where this habit started, where this craving really started. And it's a lot of times in really odd places, right? Like, anytime somebody comes to me and they're trying to give up a habit, or or if they have pain, I say,
I knew it was going to happen. So.
where's the battery? That scared me. I was like, there's a poltergeist.
I need to plug mine in, though, because I got to use it.
I'm just kidding.
When we did this at the first ET I was at, I wanted it severely. I bet I didn't eat like Lay's
That kind of
potato
chip
chips for
a
the
long
next
time.
year.
Yeah.
Not because I was like,
I know. I was
disgusting,
just
but it was like,
I was just getting ready to say, don't be scared, because ending with it being repulsive that's not the norm.
No.
Um,
I still, like, if it was there, I wouldn't have been like, oh, gag me, that's disgusting.
Here's what I will
But
say,
it was
though.
just
If
like
it's
a
a
mess.
toxic food, which it's potato chip, yeah, it's probably toxic. But if it's a toxic food, when we calm our body down, a lot of times we'll start to notice the nastiness in it.
Do you want it back?
I think I'm done with it, honestly. Yeah, we're just going to do tapping from here on out, so I don't think I need it. But so I see that a lot with diet soda. People that love diet soda, and then we work on the craving, and then they take another sip of it, and they're like, that is nasty. That tastes like medicine. And I'm like, and they think I put something in their drink. Because their brain changed, so the taste is completely different. So that's not the norm to hate them, but I guess it is. I guess that's the disclaimer, if that is possible.
When was that? 2 years ago?
Yeah, and you've never had one again?
No, it's not just any cookie.
Yeah.
Because regular, like, I can
It's just
still
those.
put down some, but it's that particular cookie.
Yeah, so there's the disclaimer. I guess it could happen, but it doesn't happen very often. Usually it just brings down the frenzy so that you can make the choice, right? Oh, I'm going to eat it or I'm not. Or I'm going to have one instead of 20.
Because I thought, man, I wonder if I can still have one of those. And
Yeah.
went back with the kids, and I got one, and I was like,
Blah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so one more time, just kind of smell it, let your body really connect with it, let it really want it. And I want you to describe to me what's the quality, and you guys can just kind of shout things out. What's the quality of it that, like, you're like, oh, I want it so bad? Is it the sweetness, richness?
The crunch.
The crunch, yes, right? So a lot of times with soda, people are like, it's the burn. I love the burn, right? Yeah.
Soda is my.
Yeah. So you wrote your number down, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and start tapping and just repeat after me. Even though I have this craving, I'm working through it. I want it so bad. I gotta have it. It smells so good. It's gonna taste so good. I gotta have it. Nobody's gonna tell me no. I need this now. But I'm just looking at it. Maybe I can get through this. No way. I need it. It's so sweet. It's going to taste so good. So salty. Oh, and the crunch. I need it. I'm going to die without it. But I'm working through it. I'm going to be okay. Okay, just go to the top of the head. No, I'm not. I need it. I need that crunch. I need that sweetness. Oh, it smells so good. Inside of the eyebrow, my mouth is watering. My stomach is rumbling. I gotta have it. I'm panicking. Nobody's gonna tell me no. Definitely not me. Outside of the eye, I need it. This craving, so intense. Under the eye, I really need it. Right now. Nobody's gonna stop me. No way. I'm gonna eat that, and it's gonna be so good. Under the nose, I need it. It's a really intense craving. My mouth is even watering. It smells so good. And the chin, I gotta have it. I'm panicking. This frenzied energy under the collarbone, I will die without it. I will not be okay. Under the arm, I'm panicking. What if Kelly makes me hate it? Okay, take a breath. Okay, so now I want you to just check in with that craving again. Maybe pick it up again and smell it. See how that feels. See
Kelly, it was a certain time of day that I liked to.
Yeah.
That's what I went to. I was doing that.
Interesting. Smells different? Yep. Okay. Yep. It smells the same. You don't look happy with me. She's like, my chip doesn't smell the same. Sorry, not sorry. No, it'll be fine. Okay, so you didn't eat it, did you? Oh. Keep her under control over there. Okay, so shoot some numbers. How high is the craving now? Does it come down for anybody? A little bit? Okay. Is there any new quality about it that you're like, oh, I just gotta have it? No? No? Okay.
It's the opposite of that.
Okay. Not strong. Okay.
I became much more aware of the grease.
Smells different. Yes. Okay. Let's do another round. Okay. Even though I still have this craving, I accept myself anyway. Even though I still have this craving, I really want it. There's no way I'm tapping this out. But I'm working through it. And I'm open to the possibility that maybe I could tap this out. Maybe that would be a good thing. I'm open to it. Even though I still have this craving, I really want it. And I'm not giving that up. Nobody can stop me. I can't even stop me. I've tried before. Every year on the 1st. I give it up. And now it's the 9th. And I need a tap. Even though I still have this craving, I love and accept myself anyway. Okay, and just go to the top of the head. It smells so good. It's going to be so rich and creamy. Oh, that crunch. I love it. Inside the eyebrow. I can't live without it. I don't want to tap this out. I refuse to let this go. This is ridiculous. I need this craving. I need this food. Or I will die. Outside of the eye, I'm panicking. Part of me wants to feel differently. And a part of me says, no way. I'm never giving this up. No way, no how. I'm not going to do it. Under the eye. I'm panicking. I don't want to give this up. But maybe I could just reset my nervous system. And I don't have to give it up completely. You guys, I'm tapping differently than I normally do because I feel a lot of rebellion in this group. All about here. You guys are like, I'm not tapping this out. I like this. Not going to do it. Under the nose, this craving. Am I right? Yeah, I know I am. No, it's okay. It's hilarious. It's just a strong one.
I think really good is for smoking too. Like if
Yes.
you're a smoker and you have a cigarette in your purse.
Absolutely. Yeah, if anybody wants, you can like smell it, hold it in your hand. Yeah. So going under the chin, this craving, I really want it. I've wanted it for a long time. I wish Kelly would get on with it so I can eat it. Under the collarbone, this craving. I gotta have it. I'm panicking. I'm gonna die without it. And I feel it in my entire body. I have to have it. I'm not giving this up. No way, no how. Hell no. You guys like that? Under the arm. Not gonna do it. This craving, so intense. Okay, take a breath. Okay, now sniff it again. Really get in there. Does it hadn't changed?
No, I mean, it just smells like grease. No.
Can't smell it as much? Okay, so you're interesting. Okay, so the sweetness is coming down, but now you smell more of the cocoa, like the actual.
That's not what I don't like cocoa. Yeah, I draw the sweetness. I draw the sugar. So that's what's going away though.
Mm-hmm.
Cocoa's going away, which I don't really feel.
So where was your craving when we start? Yours was 10, right? So what is it now?
I'm gonna say it's 3 or 4 now. It's not like
Interesting, huh?
cocoa doesn't make me want to have it. It's
Right.
The sweet smell made me want to have it.
Right. Okay, so the other thing to check, right, is like there might still be a part of you mentally that still wants it, right? We're not going to, I mean, sometimes that actually does go away too, but I want you to really check in with your physical feeling. Like when you have it in front of you and you think about eating it, does it feel pretty calm now? Is there any little bit of that kind of like, or is it just pretty much like it almost gets to a place where it's like, I could take it or leave it, right? That's what this is all about, right? How cool is that to have a tool, like if, you know, so you don't have to willpower your way through it. You're helping your body feel safe around that food or that drink. Oh, I tap everywhere. I'm walking through the grocery store and I'm tapping and people are looking at me and I'm like,
They probably just think you have a mental illness.
I know, right? And I'm like, it's fine. Yeah.
So how do you know what to say when you're
Yeah, that's a great question. So I obviously have done this forever, so it just comes to me. When you're tapping on your own, all you have to say is, even though I have this craving, I accept myself anyway. This craving, 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 okay? You can keep it that simple. Or you can really you just get into your authentic, like, how do I feel about this? I want it. How would I feel if I got rid of this? You know, you're just getting into your own head and voicing the struggle. That's all it is, right? You just voicing the struggle. And if you need to get the juices flowing, you can say, and the worst part is, right? Or you can really connect with what's physically going on. So when I'm working with somebody on other issues, this is important too. You want to feel where you feel the craving in your body, but if we're working on something like stress, I'm always having people connect back to their physical body, because the truth is, our tapping session isn't going to change the fact that your boss is a dick, right? Like, that stress isn't going to magically disappear in a tapping session. However,
I passed the torch.
no.
Foul mouth.
Sorry. I did feel ornery when I woke up this morning. I did. I was like, uh-oh. We're not changing the stress out there, but when you can think about things that have been said to you, when you can think about your boss doing certain things and you don't feel that same chest tightness, right? Then you know, okay, my body has let this go, because it's not activating that physical response. So you're just getting into your own head, asking yourself what the struggle is, and that's all you voice. And the truth is, we're doing this setup statement on the side of the hand. The magic is in the tapping. It's in the tapping. It's not in the words. It's in the feeling and the emotion and in the tapping. So if you even pick one point, like if you're somebody who feels anxious when you drive a car, right? Like, don't need to go through the whole process, but you can tap while you're driving and just be like, I feel anxious, I feel anxious, I feel anxious. And remember, that signal is just telling our body, it's just sending that nice soothing signal through that says, I'm okay, It just says, like, if I'm tapping like this, I can't be running from a tiger. Just starts, and that signal, that soothing signal comes in and breaks the stress one, okay? So it takes practice, and, I make it more complicated than I need to just because I've done this forever, and I'm like, picking up what's in the field too, which is always fun. And I'm like, who's that? Okay, I'll say that. Okay, how much time do I have? Because
I don't know, because we got off.
We're so off. So
It's almost 4.
I'd love to just.
Technically, what we would end and do, right?
I would love to just take them through that tapping script, the one that I made, and which will take like 5 minutes, and then we can switch. Okay. Do you guys want to take a break real quick, and then we'll come back and do the whole thing. When I'm creating tapping scripts, I created a formula called the RISE method. And if you just look at RISE, resistance, intention, surrender, expansion. And if you can throw in those words, right? Because there's always, not always, but if you know that there's at least a little part of you that's like, ooh, I'm not sure I want to let go of that. If you can just voice it through tapping, it just helps move that resistance through. And that's what tapping is all about. We're trying to release that energy, that stuck energy, that resistance to whatever the future is that we're trying to manifest, right? So you throw the words of resistance in, and those are the words like, I'm not going to do it. I refuse to do it. I don't want to do it, right? I'll say things like, part of me wants to do this, and part of me doesn't, right? And then you can go, well, the part of me that doesn't, why? And they're like, it'll say things like, I don't want to be that restricted. I don't want to live like that. Life is boring if I don't have this food. You know what I mean? Like, you can get in, and that's all the resistance. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. The intention is, what do I want instead? So if I'm feeling this resistance and I'm experiencing what I don't want, what do I want to create instead? Okay? The surrender is just words of, and I'm opening myself up to the universe. I'm opening myself up to God. I'm giving this over to the higher power. I'm surrendering to the release. Okay? I'm surrendering to the energy coming in as well. We have to be able to receive it. And then the expansion is blowing up even more, like the energy of, and what can I do to take action to move towards that? Okay? And and raise the vibration. What else can I do? So that's the formula that I used in this script. It is long, so I'm going to chop it down a little bit, but you guys will have the full script in your inbox very shortly. Okay? So for our purposes, if you know the points well, no, I'll just tell you where to tap. That's fine. I want you to go ahead and close your eyes, okay? And we're going to start on the side of the hand and just tap on the side of the hand. Oh, I didn't realize you guys were still doing stuff. That's okay. That's okay. I was just like in my own world. Didn't realize it was still. Hold, please. I have drank so much water today. If you do have to get up and leave early, just let us know before you go so that we can be sure to send you the recording or get that to you somehow. Okay?
Will we get a recording?
Not just only if you have to leave, because we happen to be recording today, so that's the only reason I can offer that. Yeah. We are going to offer the recordings just for like a small amount of money. Some of them. We're not going to do all of it. I want to tap, guys.
Thank you. We're having a hard time remembering the numbers.
Struggle is real.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so go ahead and just get cozy. And I want you to tap on the side of the hand. And I will tell you where to tap. And we're just going to start to voice this stuff, okay? Everybody repeat after me. Even though this year has been really hard. It's been really challenging. I'm ready to honor the experience. And release it with love and compassion. And keep tapping, but I haven't added this in, but when you feel waves of emotion coming through, I want you to think of that like gold. The more those tears can move through, the more the sadness, the frustration, the anger, whatever that emotion is, the more you feel it, the faster you get to clear it, okay? So where everywhere else you have to throw the brakes on, you have to stuff it down, maybe you've learned to do that. When you're tapping, that's the time to take the brakes off and just let it move through, okay? So just keep repeating after me, even though this year has been really tough. It pushed me to my limits. I've learned so much. And I'm open to accepting myself anyway. And letting this struggle go. Even though it's been really difficult in so many ways. I'm honoring everything that happened. Letting it move through my body. Releasing it back to the universe. So I can start again. And now I can manifest what I really want. And go to the top of the head. It's been really hard. So challenging. There's been so much loss. So much sadness. So much grief. So much restriction. So much limitation. Loss of control. So much anxiety and fear. Even anger and frustration. So many emotions. And inside the eyebrow, this year has been really tough. Harder than I ever could have imagined. All the fear. It's a lot to go through. So much fear. Fear around so many different things. All this uncertainty. Things just don't make sense. And it's scary to release this. I'm not sure I can. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I am ready. Outside of the eye, part of me wants to hold on. As a reminder, maybe it's scary to let it go. I'm scared to release the fear. It feels like that would be dangerous. My ego makes me hold on to the fear. Makes me think it's safer that way. Go under the eye, but I'm exhausted of feeling afraid all the time. It's wearing me down, and I'm ready to release this heaviness. Release all the sadness and grief, the rage, the frustration, Everything that bubbled to the surface, I'm actually grateful it came to the surface. Now I don't have to carry it around. This year has been insane, but it's actually helping me heal. And I'm ready to let all of this go so I can heal for my highest good. And under the nose, releasing everything I need to heal for my highest good. Part of me thinks that's impossible, but I choose to be crazy and believe in the impossible because I know I'm powerful. I'm a powerful creator, and I'm setting that intention now. And on the chin there, cutting all the cords to negativity, cutting the cords to the past, and even cutting the cords to the future. As my mind tries to figure things out, I'm releasing all the cords now, so I can be fully present now, so I can feel better now, so I can feel lighter, more hopeful, more safe, maybe even excited about my future. And under the collarbone, wouldn't that be amazing if I actually got to feel excited again? I'm totally open to that. And I'm asking the universe for help with this. I'm asking God for help. I'm calling that energy in now. More motivation, more joy, all the ways that can show up for me. I give myself permission to release, releasing from every cell in my body the things that don't serve me, that are blocking me, that are holding me back. And I'm saying yes to a fresh start. And I can already feel it. I can feel the energy expanding. Releasing it all now. Letting it turn to smoke. Letting it drain from my head to my toes. Filling up with light and love. I can already feel it. And it feels fucking amazing. Oh, I love this feeling. And I'm ready for even more of this. And go under the arm. And as I feel even more of this now, I call in even more of that. More fun, more joy, more intuition, more connection, like-minded friends. I'm calling all of that in. I can already feel it. And I know that that's the key. I have to feel it now. And I give myself permission to feel all of that excitement now. And on top of the head, I love knowing that it's already here. I can already feel the energy. I feel lighter and lighter, more and more expansive. And it feels fucking amazing. I love this feeling. I give myself permission to feel a little crazy with this insane excitement. I feel so connected, wide open to spirit, fully open to my intuition, and safely grounded in my body and inside of the eyebrow. And I love knowing this truth, that as I get into this state of being and I feel really good and I dial those emotions up, I turn into a powerful magnet for manifesting what I really want. On the outside of the eye. And I love that. The more magnetic I become, the happier and healthier my body is. My mind is more healthy. And I'm even more connected. Letting this love wash over me. Letting it fill me up. It feels so good. I love knowing that it's already here. I love knowing that I'm worth it. I'm deserving of love. And I let myself feel that now. And under the eye, I know the universe has my back. I'm loved and supported. And I can feel it in a way that I've never quite felt before. And this feels so good. And under the nose. I'm trusting how things are unfolding. I'm trusting the healing that I've done. And after everything I've been through, and everything I've healed, I'm going to be Superwoman. That's actually pretty exciting. And the chin. All this healing is really working out for me. That pain's actually working out for me too. Because I didn't even know it was there. But now I've released. And now I can step into my power. And I can feel it in a way that I have never felt before. And it feels amazing. And under the collarbone. I'm open to feeling even more of that now. Feeling in every cell of my body. A higher and higher energy. Manifesting what I really do want. Taking action for me. Aligning with my highest good. And it feels amazing. And I'm so grateful for everything I've learned. And I'm ready to let it go. Okay, good. And take a breath. That was the shortened version. And of course, when you're doing this, add in whatever it is that you want, right? Whatever you want to manifest, add it in there and just dial that energy up, because the more you can feel it and let that expand, the faster you manifest it and bring it into your life. Okay. Awesome job, guys. I'm going to pass it off to...
That was really good.
Wolfbuddy. Thanks.
I love that.
You did?
I never got to experience that script yet.
Yeah, you can switch hands. Yep. Just whatever's intuitive. No, you can't. Hey, guys, you can't do tapping wrong.
Okay.
By the way.
My hand would get tired.
Yeah, you can't do it wrong. Say what you want. I mean, you can be more effective with it in certain ways, but you can't do it wrong. So don't worry about that. Awesome.
All right, folks. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.